Shalom Aleichem. Mishnah Yomi for Erev Shabbat Vayera is in chapter 2 of Batra, Mishnayot 13 and 14. Here's Mishnah Yud Gimel. Ilan shehu note l'stei chavero. There is a tree and it's tilting over into the neighbor's yard. So it's got branches that are stretching over the fence or over the border onto the neighbor's yard. Kautzitz melo mardeya al gabei hamacharesha. The neighbor can go ahead and cut those branches off up to a height where they would be hit by the ox goad when he's plowing. So what's going on is somebody stands on the plow or next to the plow and he's got a goad, like a stick, and he uses it to guide the oxen. He needs space to wave his stick properly to do the plowing. So any branches that interfere with that, he can cut off. Uvaharu v'shechma, with the carob tree and the sycamore tree that have bigger branch situations going on overhead. Keneged mishkalit, he can go against the plumb line, the line that they use to draw the border. Meaning he could cut off any branch that is going over the boundary into his field. Beta shlochin, what if it's an irrigated field? Kamuvan, you understand, a field that needs to be irrigated by hand, the rain is not sufficient. Kola ilon keneged mishkolet, any tree can be cut off on the border line, because really any tree is shading over this sensitive crop, and it could be removed so it gets enough sunlight and enough rainwater. Abba Shaul disagrees, he says, Kol ilan srak, any tree that does not bear fruit, keneged hamishkolet, can be cut on the property line. So it's not just the haruv, the shikma, it's not just the carob and the sycamore, but any tree that's not giving fruit can be cut on the borderline. It's not a significant loss for the tree owner. On to Mishnah Yud Daled. Elon should know to the Rabim. What if a tree is growing into the public area? Its branches are going over the street. Kautzetz kadeshye gamal over verochvo. The people who are taking care of the street, they can cut it at the height where now a camel and its rider can pass freely without bumping any part of the camel or the rider. Rabbi Yehuda adds gumel taun pishtan, even a camel laden with a big load of flax, which could be very large, or bundles of sticks, and that could be a very tall, very large load. We actually mentioned this in Bava when somebody had left their lamp outside, and a camel full of flax caught on fire. That was one of the cases we talked about. We talked about if someone left out their Hanukkah menorah, that was allowed, but leaving out other fire sources was not allowed because camels might be walking by with a load of flammable material. Rabbi Shimon adds, Kol Elon keneged mishkolet. Really, any tree branches should be cut off before they're growing into the public domain, mipnei hatuma. Not because they interfere necessarily with somebody riding underneath or carrying loads underneath, but because if you have enough branches on top, they can form an ohel, what's literally a tent, but a covering. If there's tuma, a source of tuma underneath, it would cause someone to become ritually contaminated. So it's not just physical interference that we want to avoid in the public domain, also spiritual interference, causing spiritual problems. Something to keep in mind. If we're doing something today in shul that's maybe distracting to other people who are davening or learning, that's creating spiritual interference in Reshut Rabim. So something to be aware of. Yishar Kochachem. Very exciting. Tomorrow we start the very famous chapter Chezkat Habatim. Tiskud Mitzvot. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos.